What's up, everyone, and welcome to part 2 of my recap this month. Yes, when I started filming my recap, I was like, look, this is just getting out of hand. This is getting way too booky, and it took me forever to get through the book part of my recap, so I decided I was going to fit it into 2 shorter videos, so I hope that you like that aspect of it. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to part 2 of my recap. This is where I'm going to talk about some of the beauty stuff that I got this month, or in the past couple of months since I have not been doing recaps. All right, so first I'm going to talk about this new shampoo and conditioner I've been using. I'm not sure if it's just new in general, but it was new to me. I'd never seen it before, and I got it. It was the Sun Revitalizing Shampoo and Conditioner. Of course, the packaging sold me immediately. And of course, it smells like Sun Bum. It smells like that fake sunscreeny, coconutty, pineapple-y scent that I am a sucker for, and I absolutely love. So I was like, yep, totally getting it. And I've generally liked their sunscreen, so I was like, cool, maybe I'll like their hair, but honestly, I think it's like plugging up my follicles again. I think it's giving me that folliculitis. I swear, it's like I have to use tea tree oil. That's basically the only thing that unplugs or stands any chance of like unplugging my follicles and getting all of those pimply things out of my hairline. So I don't know if I'm going to repurchase this. If I do, it'll probably be just strictly for my daughter. I do like the fact that it is UV protective on your hair. I guess. I mean, that's kind of cool. It's not something I see as a marketing point on most shampoos, but that also could be why it tends to plug up my pores so bad. I don't know. It smells really good, though. The conditioner isn't the greatest I've ever used, but it smells good. It's kind of expensive for what it is, though. I think they were like $10 a piece, and you only get 10 ounces in each one. But I don't use a ton of shampoo. I only wash my hair like a couple times a week, so whatever. So staying with that same brand, I'm going to talk about this sunscreen of theirs. So I've had this for a while. I got this last summer. I actually got it at REI, and it is their broad spectrum SPF 50 sunscreen. I got this mainly for hiking for my arms and legs because it's a chemical based sunscreen. It doesn't have zinc or titanium dioxide in it, which is like really thick and just uncomfortable to wear, hard to absorb. So I got this mainly for my arms and legs because I never really liked wearing physical sunscreen anywhere but my face, which I don't even do that anymore. Even though I have sensitive skin, I started using chemical sunscreen on my face. As most of you may know, or if you have seen me talk about the CeraVe SPF 30 moisturizing daytime SPF lotion, it is chemical based sunscreen and it doesn't irritate my skin. So I took that note because I ran out of the other stuff, and honestly I've been kind of on a budget. I've been trying to save money. So I kind of started comparing ingredients, and turns out this one has the same ingredients in it as that one. So what did I start doing? I started using this on my face, and guess what? It worked. It didn't break me out. It didn't plug my pores. It's not oily and greasy. It actually worked. It's definitely not as mattifying as the CeraVe, but I mean, the fact that I'm saving money, I can't complain because this is going to last me a lot longer than that CeraVe. This will last me, quite a long time. Obviously, it's summertime, so I'll probably be using it more on my arms and legs, but still, I'm just going to use this while I have it without spending more money on something else because this works, and it smells good. It's got that sun-bummy, coconutty, pineapple-y, beachy smell. Yeah, I like it. The next thing we're going to talk about, this I've had for a couple of months. Now, I know people are kind of divided on whether or not Dove is cruelty-free. Dove came out, I got this shortly after, I found out that Dove said they were cruelty-free. I know there are a lot of mixed opinions on that. I'm not going to get into that in this video, but I am going to post another video about the gray area of cruelty-free makeup and beauty that is going to go more in depth on what my stance is. When it comes to hygiene, you just kind of have to buy what works, especially if you've got eczema and all sorts of other skin conditions like me. But when it comes to makeup, obviously that's a little easier, but still, I said I wasn't going to get into it, and here I go. Okay, this is the Dove Body Wash Mousse with coconut oil. This I was interested in because I was like, this is going to be a dual purpose item. It's going to be like a shaving cream as well as soap because it is a body wash. What I didn't realize was this is like $6, I think, 5 something at Target, and it goes fast. You just blow straight through it because it is that foamy texture, and of course if you're using it as shaving cream and as body wash, it doesn't it's just very, very light, a lot lighter than most shaving cream, so it doesn't go as far as shaving cream, and you just blow straight through it. It doesn't last. I would have to buy like 2 bottles every time I went to Target just to make sure I never ran out, basically. So what I've been doing lately is spending $1.29 on 2 bars of Trader Joe's soap and saving a lot of money that way. Those will last me like 2 months. Okay. This is and I got this, of course, before the whole controversy. I haven't decided how I feel about Wet n Wild yet, so I haven't really bought any of their stuff, and I'm just not really in the market for any makeup right now. But I did get this a while ago. This is the Photo Focus Coconut 3-in-1 Primer Water. This is kind of like their setting spray that they came at their original setting spray, but this is supposed to be a 3-in-1, like a primer as well as a setting spray. And it smells really good. It doesn't really smell like coconut, though. I don't really like the spritz on it. For whatever reason, I remember the spray on the other one being more fine and uniform. This one doesn't seem as uniform, and it also seems to have like a stronger spray in the middle and the fine mist around the edges. So I don't think I'm going to repurchase it because, honestly, I don't think it does a better job than just regular old glycerin and rose water, that giant thing from the Heritage store that's like $10 that lasts me like months. And then Trader Joe's has one too that's like $2.99 that's about half the size of the Heritage store one, when it's just like, I mean, there's just so many other options, and I don't think this makes my makeup last particularly longer than, say, one of those other cheaper options, and you only get 1.5 ounces in this. Don't be fooled by the fact that it's only like $5 or $6. You get 1.5 ounces. That's nothing, okay? The Milani Make It Last is what I use if I really just want my makeup to look airbrushed and want it to last all day, which I'm actually out of that right now, and it's kind of expensive, so I haven't repurchased it lately. But yeah, that's the only one that really helps in terms of making my makeup last. This one, I don't know. I just don't, yeah. There are cheaper options out there. All right, so we're going to talk about a skincare item I've been using and actually really, really like. This is the Ordinary Azelaic Acid Suspension. It's 10% azelaic acid, so it's not like a prescription strength, which would be more like 15%, which is Finacea or whatever, Finacea, which is like what you hear of when you hear about rosacea medicine that you would get from a dermatologist, for instance. I have rosacea. It's not super bad. It's mainly isolated over here. I also have like keratosis pilaris, but the rosacea has been kind of a new addition to the cheek family in recent years, which is so much fun. And this is the only thing that's really helped it. And I really, really like it. I've read so many reviews about it online that say things like, well, it pills under your makeup or it pills under your other skincare, which it can. But if you've ever heard me talk about the way I like to apply things that tend to pill is to rub it in until it's dry. Literally just keep rubbing your face until whatever you've put on your face is completely dry. Because if it's not dry and you're just going to let it sit there and say it feels kind of wet after you put it on your face and you're going to let it sit there and sink in, I've got news for you. It's not going to sink in. It's not going to absorb, because that wetness on your skin is basically just going to dry and leave a really thin film on your face. And yes, it will pill and it will interact with anything that you put on top of it. So whether it's sunscreen or any other kind of skincare, particularly if you're going to layer it or wear it under your makeup, I definitely recommend sitting there, taking the time to make sure everything is thoroughly rubbed in and dried down before you go in and put something else on top of it. And when I do that, I don't have an issue with it under makeup or under my other skincare. And it says you can use it day and night, which at first I started using it at night, like every other day, and I kind of worked up to every night, and then I would do it. Now I can do like morning and night. My only criticism is, yes, it's only like $7 and something, but there ain't much of it, okay? It runs out. There's only an ounce of it in here, and it just runs out really fast. So that's my biggest gripe about it, especially since it's kind of hard to get out of the tube. I wish they would repackage it into a more narrow tube that's easier to kind of squeeze and get out. Yeah, aside from that, this is pretty much the only affordable azelaic acid suspension on the market, and I guess I'm going to stick with it for now. Now we're going to talk about my favorite thing of the month. And they were worth every fucking penny, let me tell you. Okay, these are, and I will put the exact name of the model, but these are shoes by Native. Oh my God, I love them so much. I don't know if you've ever seen the kid shoes that have the little holes in them, but they look like they're made out of croc material. That's this brand. And they do make adult shoes. And these are basically made out of like croc material. But when you're wearing them, you'd never know. They're so comfortable. So the reason I got these is because I have a crazy looking foot. Okay. One of my feet looks really weird. I mean, whatever. I broke it. I shattered it when I was younger. Then I re-broke it again when I was older. That poor foot can't catch a break. So basically, I am really like self-conscious about wearing sandals all the time in the summer, especially since I don't always like to keep my toenails painted. And yes, I realize it doesn't freaking matter that much. Like, it just doesn't. But I always find myself like wearing Vans, like the slip-on Vans, which are good until they start to fall apart and then they stink. And then what can you do, really? They're really hard to get the smell out of if you're wearing those barefoot all the time. So I was like, what is the solution to this problem? And I found those shoes. Oh my God. And they're also super cute. Like, you can wear cute, it's just like you can make a cute outfit with them, and yet they're still so comfortable and so lightweight. They weigh absolutely nothing. And you can clean them, like you can scrub them with soap and stuff, just like you would Crocs. And yet they're still so cute, and they're like sandals for me, so I can just slip them on before I leave my house. But at the same time, they kind of cover up unpainted toes or my weird foot. But to get the surgery, I would have to be off my foot for like a month and a half, and I like to lift weights. My muscles would like atrophy, and I would hate that. I would hate having to be off my foot that long. At some point, I may have to get the surgery if I start getting like really bad arthritis, but at this point, it doesn't hurt. So, you know what? It's just going to be what it is, and I'm just going to use these shoes to cover up my ugly feet, okay? I've got ugly feet, okay? Something else I should note about those shoes is that they have so many different colors. I kind of want the white ones. I'm curious how hard they'd be to take care of, but they have like glittery ones and yellow and blue and red. They are so freaking cute. I will link that website in the description box. I'm not trying to like influence you into buying anything and selling you things, but I am going to tell you, if you're like me and you've always been in search of that perfect hybrid between a sandal and a shoe, that could solve a lot of problems in your life, okay? Like it did mine. I love those shoes. Okay, so the last thing that I've got, this is like the first eyeshadow palette I've bought this year. It is the Come As You Are palette by Carity Cosmetics, or Carity Beauty, or whatever. I don't know. It's supposed to be like the 90s palette. Now, I thought it had a really interesting color scheme, and honestly, it kind of does. It's really unique. It has a lot of muted colors, which I'm such a sucker for. I'm such a sucker for muted color palettes. And, you know, I don't really have any regrets about this palette. It was a really affordable palette for what it was. And there are a few duds in it for sure, which I don't want to post like a full review. I might post like a look with it just to kind of show people how the shadows perform. But I thought this shadow was actually really unique, which is that it's like a neon green, which is kind of cool. And then I really, really like this olive green. And then this one, which looks like a navy blue in the pan, comes out more of a teal, which I like, but it's a little hard to work with, a little hard to blend. Aside from that, I really do like this palette. This is Tattletale, and it has that blue-green shift or whatever. But the shimmers in here are definitely the worst. I have no problem wetting them with my brush, though, and just painting them on like paint. So that's good. I love the mattes in this palette. And overall, I do like this palette. I still can't decide if it was worth it, though. Like, honestly, I don't know if it was worth the money. I don't know if it was worth bringing into my collection. That is to be decided, but there you have it. And that is going to be it for my May recap. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. That would make me so happy, and ring the bell so you're alerted every time I post a video. And then hit subscribe if you want to subscribe to my channel. Aside from that, I will see you all in my next video. Peace out.